Aries. For Aries ascendant, the January 2026 is welcomed by the forces of 9th house. Sun, Mars, Venus and Mercury will also come and join the 9th house, and the entire stellium will shift to the 10th house while the month ends. So January is full of dilemmas. January is full of dharma sankat. But what you will realize is that you will understand the fundamental forces that operate in your life. You will understand the fundamentals of your own life, and you will realize what works best for you and what does not. Career-wise, it's a time of transformation, and a lot of people will receive a recognition. Mars will continue to remain combust throughout the month of January, and while Sun makes its move in the sign of Capricorn, which is called Makar Sankrant, you will also realize that your power to grab something, the grasp, the knowledge will also increase a lot. Now, because there is a lot of effect on the 9th house and the 10th house, it also creates a kind of a position where you are struggling with the power, with your status. Remember, your ascendant lord is combust throughout. Jupiter aspect on Sagittarius actually helps, but still you might be confused about what to do, and in such cases astrology consultation, talking to your elders, talking to gurus will definitely help you. Health wise, it's going to be a good time overall. When I say January means I'm talking in a very generic sense, it's more like a Rashifal. It's overall a positive transit. Traveling may also be possible. Business related travel or career related travel is on the cards, and which means that talks like this can happen. And if you are in business, be ready to go a little, work a little extra, maybe even on holidays. This is going to sometimes derail your vacation planning, but overall January seems to be good. Now I also see Saturn in the 12th house in January, while Rahu is in the 11th, and so 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th see the presence of a lot of planets. So there will be a lot of transaction happening. If you are in business, your sales will increase. Traders will see good moves, so the movement of money will be in a positive way. Just one thing you will have to understand, that you should not end up utilizing money for negative purpose, for negative resources, otherwise it can trouble you in a big way. So be very careful, and one key mantra that you should do during this time is to always learn the very subject you are going to execute. Do not venture without knowing the matter. Anything that you assume may backfire in January. For Taurus, this year is going to be a shift of your ascendant lord from Sagittarius to Capricorn. Naturally, this Sagittarian energies of Venus, especially in the Purvashada Nakshatra, puts you into a research mode, puts you into a fact-finding mode in January 2026. In the middle of this month, when Sun makes its move to the sign of Capricorn, which is basically your 9th house, it becomes a power-packed transit. It wants you to relocate, it wants you to focus on your dharma, it wants you to be happy. So this month is more about action, this month is more about research, this month is more about finding the true essence of your career, of your life. Career-wise, if you observe, well, your 10th lord is basically Aquarius. Now, 10th lord Saturn is in the 11th house, and for Taurus, this is going to be a time where hard work will be required. So if you're looking for a job, well, you will have to increase your intensity. If you are working in career, well, prove that you can manage a lot of things, and sometimes 8th house can bring sudden impacts in your career, sudden changes in your career. And if you're ready to buffer it, if you can absorb that pressure, you will shine bright. It is also going to create a lot of changes in how you operate wealth, especially with your own spouse. If you have any joint partnership or joint wealth, it is also going to affect your business, because you may end up changing the way you spend money that is invested in your company. So a lot of transformation will come. Maybe you're changing the strategy altogether from next year, from January 2026. It's a year of transformation. Take it accordingly. But before you think about transformation, you will have to think about your own health. Health, which will be the main theme of 2026 January. Obviously, avoid alcohol, avoid non-veg, stick to the positive diet. The 2026 will not become happier if you are like deep down if you are intoxicated in a very bad way. 2026 will give you good results if you are aware, awake, if you are ready to fight, if you are ready to win, if you are fully prepared physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. But for that, some prayers are needed. So in this case, Aditya Hriday Stotra chanting and praying to Bhagwan Surya Dev or praying to Bhagwan Narayan will be a very, very positive remedy. Smile, because 2026 is going to bring a lot of positive changes. But whenever you clean the house, it creates a mess, and eventually it turns out to be a very beautiful place. Same is going to be with you. It will clear off the toxicity and give you a very positive insight. For Gemini, the year and the month of January starts with Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius. Now for you, with Buddha in the 7th house is good for people who are in business. This is good for communication. This is good for advertising industry. This is good basically to brand yourself, to market yourself. So if you are in the sales, marketing, a very good year for you. Now as the month progresses, around mid, Mercury will be shifting to the sign of Sagittarius along with Sun, Mars and Venus, which means a lot of movement is happening from 7th to the 8th house, which may trigger some negative reaction on the marriage side. So be careful about communication. Also, if you are in corporate, be very mindful of how you drop your email, how you frame your sentences, because some of the communication can be wrongly interpreted, which may mean that you may want to say something, but the other person perceives some other meaning behind what you say. This may create controversy and sudden suspension of contract or even job. Be mindful. But when all the planets, your ascendant lord, basically your 12th lord, your 11th lord and your 3rd lord are shifting to the 8th house, it shows tremendous transformation. It is also in one way a Viparit Raj Yoga, and your desires are going to end. That means you may want to finish off something as quickly as possible in January, and new ideas, new inspiration will come. These inspirations can come from new partnerships, new associations which might happen in January, which might show signs of happening in January. Therefore, the second half of January is full of things that is changing, evolving and fast moving. All you have to do is try to keep up with the pace of life. From the health perspective, you may end up ignoring your health because of the 8th house energies, especially if you have any neurological problem or if you have a lot of skin related issue or any autoimmune issue. You need to be extra cautious. You should not ignore your health just because you are going to gain something. Nothing is more important than your physical and mental self. Now, when Mercury is moving in the 8th house, sudden changes can happen in your personality. There can be a relocation, unplanned relocation, unplanned change of city in the month of January. And this 1 month should be dedicated to Bhagwan Ganapati by chanting Om Gam Ganapate Namah or simply Om Ganapate Namah. If you simply pray to Bhagwan Ganesh, the Vignaharta, your obstacles will get removed, and the February month will be welcomed with the energies of the 8th house and then the energies of the 9th house, but in a positive way. This also can create some disputes, some communication issue in matters related to inheritance, and if you want to file your taxes, be very mindful and cautious. For Cancer Ascendant, this is more about transformation of planets from the 6th to the 7th house. There is a cluster of Sun, Venus, Mars, Mercury that will hover in the 6th house in the beginning of January, and then all will move to the 7th house towards the mid, and then will continue moving in the 7th house. So naturally, you are going to experience a lot of multiplication of efforts. What I mean is that in anything that you do in this month of January, you will see that you end up doing it more than once. You may find it a little struggling to even complete one task at a given time. So if you are working in a deadline oriented system, be very mindful. You need to keep buffer with yourself. 6th house is also enemies, health, debts. So these things will keep you a little occupied and worried for some time. When the planets move to the 7th house, especially your second lord Surya Dev, when it moves to the 7th house, it gives you monetary gain through business. It gives you positive outlook towards marriage and partnership. It will also resolve conflicts with your employees. Anyone who is working in a labor intensive environment should be mindful of how you deal with people, because if you are insulting, if your tone is demeaning, things can backfire very quickly. So anyone who is working with a lot of people in the teamwork should act like a true leader here. Track your moon, because in this month, whenever moon is with Rahu, Ketu or Saturn, avoid taking very important decisions on those days. January is a month of transformation, but also a month of healing. You should take this particular month as a month that heals you completely, where you maintain discipline and prioritize your day's tasks. And in anything, whether it is personal or professional, if you really can't do anything, if you know that it is beyond your capacity, you should immediately say no, you cannot do it. Because if you won't try to solve this now, it will become a big issue towards the month of February. Now for Leo, your sun is in the 5th house, your ascendant lord being in the 5th, and then on the Makar Sankranti, on the 14th of January, it moves to the Capricorn, which is your 6th house. It gives you a lot of edge over others. It kind of aligns with Venus, Mars and Mercury and gives you that competitive edge. It makes you smarter, it makes you wiser, it makes you very proactive. But sometimes too many things all at once and the energy can become a cocktail and can backfire very quickly. So you need to really prioritize your day. You need to prioritize your energy. You need to prioritize your momentum in life, especially how you deal with productivity. So you want to do something. What is the result it will produce? When will it produce? So you need to know the consequence of your action before you even take the first step. A lot of planning will be needed, especially if you want to start a business. And 5th and 6th house is relatively more about learning, education, how you interact with your children. So you need to follow a very patience-oriented model in these areas of life. Also, with respect to health, this can make you eat more, this can make you feel more hungry and can create weight fluctuations. People who are having inflammation issue or having a diet-related problem should consult a doctor immediately, because this is not the time to experiment with anything. When your ascendant is hosting Ketu in Purva Falguni, 8th house is hosting Saturn, and a lot of planets are hovering around 5th to 6th house, this is the time to play safe. Any kind of risk-taking attitude, especially if you are in speculative business, stock market, I will say be very careful, because this can cause financial losses and financial issues. But if you're playing safe, if you know your priorities, if you are planning and taking one step at a time, I think you will succeed quite well in the month of January. Now for Virgo, if you experience the Mercury again is moving around your 4th and the 5th house, Venus, which is your Dhana Lord, will be moving from Sagittarius to Capricorn in the month of January. So a lot is happening around your 4th house and 5th house. Matters related to real estate should be dealt carefully. Drive carefully, because Mars is present in the 4th house and then Mars will become exalted in the 5th house. Matters related to property, inheritance can become very heated. Definitely, if you have any Vastu related issue in your home, or if you want to renovate your home, this can be a very good time. January can be a time when you can think about it. When you're dealing with matters related to 4th house, when there is a stellium constellation that is happening in the heart area, the 4th house, this is going to impact how you derive happiness from, where you derive happiness from, how you feel happy about it. It can make your life very dynamic. Something or the other is happening and you are engaged in one activity or the other. So if you want to rest and chill, this may not be the month. If you want to work hard and change your life, if you want to do something about it, if you want to roam around the world, if you are a travel vlogger, well, this is the time for your life. So it depends what kind of life you are dealing with, what you really want from it. But with Mercury moving across 4th to 5th actually increases your productivity. The second half is better than the first half. If you want to take any important decision of your life and you have to take it in January, then the second half will be better, because at least the sun will become very stable. Also, Venus, which is basically your second lord, Dhana lord, and your ninth lord will be good when it is in the 5th house, because Venus performs well in the 5th, and ninth lord will be 9 places away from, that's a Bhavad Bhavam position, matters related to relationship, romance, fulfillment of duty towards family. That will be the theme of the second half of January 2026. So you may end up seeing that January is not a month you are living for yourself. January is a month where you are always engaged in one or the other issues for your family members, for your friends, and you are occupied there. And this can be a nightmare for introverts, by the way. But my recommendation is, if you go with the flow, if you fulfill your duty and responsibility, ultimately this month will give you a productive life. This month will sort all issues, and you will be a known person, and people will know you, how helpful you were in times of need. So overall, I will say for you, it's a time to find renewed happiness. Now for Libra, if you see your ascendant lord, which is Venus, will be in the 3rd house in Sagittarius, and then it will move to the 4th house along with the cluster of planets such as Sun, Mars, Mercury. So this is going to be a tense time with people who are close to you, with your siblings. There can be war with the siblings, there can be fight with the siblings. So be very mindful how you communicate, how you talk with your friends, with your family, with your brothers and sisters. Also, 3rd house can mean experimentation. You can experiment with how you look, with how you dress, with how you talk, with how you communicate. Your communication skills can alter, and you can sharpen it. You can learn a new language, and if you are into the field of interpretation, writing, journalism, creative writing, digital marketing, content writing, a very good time for you. Now when you are talking about Libra, you are talking about balance of life. But Sagittarius is more about fire, and Capricorn is more about action. If you're looking for fire and action in your life, good. If you're looking for peace, maybe not January. Also, people who are looking for work from home, people who are looking for establishing factories, who wants to establish salons, wellness center, very good career opportunity for you in the upcoming days. January is going to be a very creative, very happening, very lively month for Libra. For Scorpio, if you observe, Mars is combust. But Mars is in the 2nd house, then Mars will become exalt. So second half of January is full of action, something that brings the lot of positive undercurrent. It's a month of enthusiasm, positive speaking, bold action, big initiatives, and somewhat engineering marvels. So if you're in construction, real estate, engineering, if you are into electric and electronics, this month is very much promising. 3rd house, powerful Mars, with Venus, creativity, Mercury's communication skill, and the support of the Sun is definitely going to make your career shine bright. Remember, Sun is your career lord. It's a month of action and reaction. Ensure that you are not fighting with anything. Ensure this is not about negative reaction. This is not about knee-jerk reaction. This is not about giving a reply to someone, rather than constructive criticism, constructive growth in life. Financially, this can be a month which needs more spending, and be very careful with the injuries that you may encounter during this time. Also, on the other hand, Hasta Mudras, that means mudras like Apana Mudra, Jnana Mudra, will actually help you a lot if you are having any energy shift in your life. If you are unable to control your anger, if you are unable to control your urges, then yoga will definitely help you. Keep yourself occupied in January, because if you are free, if you are empty, if you don't do anything, you may feel dull, you may feel that you're wasting your time and energy. This is the month of creative thinking and financial planning. Plan it well. If you're looking for any separation of property, if you're looking for inheritance, the talks may be initiated in this particular month of January 2026. Overall, it's a month of activity. But because Mars is combust, A lot of things that you may try may not actually happen. So this is a month of trial and errors. This is a month of giving your 200% and then wait and watch, see how things unfold. If you try to enforce it, brute strength should not be used. It's okay to apply a strength, but if you apply it constantly, you may end up breaking yourself. Now for Sagittarius, your ascendant lord is in the 7th house, but there is a lot happening on your ascendant. There are 4 planets on the Lagna, which moves out of your ascendant towards the 2nd house in the second half of January. So this is more about self-orientation. It's more about finding the right financial support. It's more about figuring out managing your expenses, your family responsibilities. Too many things happening all at once. Too many responsibilities coming your way. Take care of your health. Take care of your involvement in life. This is the time when you should focus on what you can and what you cannot, what you are able to and what you are not able to. You will have to prepare grounding energies for yourself. You will have to prepare boundaries for yourself, and you will have to know your limitations. Personal or professional, this is a time of transformation. Mars being in the 1st house energizes you, and then Mars becomes exalted in the 2nd house, gives the power to your wealth. This is a wealth generating transit, so a lot of money will come towards you. How you manage that money, whether you put it in the right space, is going to be a task for you. So it's the right time to solve financial crisis by engaging with a CA or with a financial consultant. Don't take any hasty step. Go one step at a time. And this is going to be spiritually a very, very evolving transit for Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, January is going to be happening, changing, adapting, and somewhat thrilling and energy-oriented, energy-filled transit. Now, because all these planets are affecting the 7th house also through the aspect, and then will move in the 2nd house, marriage can be a battleground for many. So be prepared, be careful, because for Sagittarius ascendant and even Sagittarius moon sign people, this can be a little frustrating because you're trying to do something but you're unable to. Best time to do Shakti Upasana, Shakti Puja and Durga Yajna. This is the best time to pray to Mata Bhagavati. For Capricorn, your ascendant lord is in 3rd house, but lord is happening on the 12th house. This keeps your subconscious mind engaged. People who want to travel overseas may change their plans. A lot of you may actually change a lot of your plans within the first 15-20 days. But in the 2nd house, the second half of 2026 January, after 15th of January, Mars and energies of the Sun, Venus, Mercury will shift towards Capricorn. This means that the power-packed Capricorn, the energies that is showering on your ascendant will actually make you very confident, bold. You will take big initiatives. This is a very positive time, but the second half of January 2026. The first half should be spent in planning, and second half of January should be spent in execution. Health-wise, you need to be very careful because this can create accidents, injuries, especially injuries on the legs. If you have weak eyesight, be very careful. Avoid a lot of screen time. Try to be more on the meditative side and control your anger. People who have Mars Rahu or Mars Ketu conjunction should chant Hanuman Chalisa at least 11 times every day. On Tuesdays, if your health permits, do some fasting. It's a very positive time. Career-wise, it's great. But the masculine energy that gets accumulated on the ascendant actually aspects your 7th house. So it can be a little negative for the married life, for the family life, because you are more on the scope of domination. You really want to dominate the situation and you want to solve it. But the way you do it may be a little pressing, maybe a little dominating that the other person may not like. So think on that angles before taking any decision or action. For Aquarius, this is going to be a time of finances, gains and expense. So what you gain at this point, you may lose it in the January second half. Be careful because the entire sequence of planets are shifting from the 11th house to the 12th house. Now, people who have export and import business, who gains from multinational companies, who work in corporate setups will gain profit. But This may also create a bit of a struggle. Overall, for some it can be more, for some it can be tiny, but you may feel a little frustrated, claustrophobic, choked and blocked, especially towards the end of January. Although the energies are very strong, you may want to just break yourself free. Don't take any decision that can harm your reputation or harm your overall financial status. Give it some time, allow the energies to settle, and in this case, meditation will be the key. Chanting the mantra Om Hanumate Namah, taking the name of Bhagwan Hanuman, will actually stabilize your consciousness and will give you new ideas. You may be hyperactive during this time, you may be hyperactive at the night, you may get very restless sometimes, but what you have to do is use this energy consciously into physical activity, walk after meals, walk a lot, and that will help you gain control over your body, mind, and spiritual life. Lastly, for Pisces, this is going to be a time when stability, bullseye hit is very important. That means you have to be very, very still in your approach while a lot of planets in the 10th house are shifting to the 11th house. With Mars moving, with Sun moving from the 10th to the 11th, it's a very career-oriented, very power-packed transit where things can change in your livelihood, in your career, in the space of reputation very quickly. Some people may support you, some people may just become your enemy. In this case, you need to use these energies wisely and use the power of Saturn, because Saturn will be aspecting your 10th house. Good for determined leadership. If you keep standing, in Hindi we say adig, unmoved, unfazed by the circumstances. If you stick to your point, you will come across as a strong leader. Don't be stubborn, but be firm. When the planets move to the 11th house, in the end, you will end up gaining things overall. Jupiter will actually help you understand a lot of things. Jupiter's aspect on the 10th house will help you grow your career in January. But January seems to be a kind of a month with a lot of verbal war, with a lot of discussion happening around your career and your income.